Well, folks, how y'all doing today? Now, folks, today we're just gonna have a little talk. Now, it should be obvious to anyone who has a mind that the media class and the entire internationalist donor class, the people who normally buy these elections out of hand, are uniting against whatever you'd like to call the Donald Trump thing. And let's make this clear. I'm not a great passionate Donald Trump supporter. In fact, I view Donald Trump as something like a face, an expression of a groundswell of feeling that's been coming a long time. He's not some random phenomena that just arrived here, the way the media wants to present it. The fact is that way back under Nixon, when I was a child, when I first was born, people were angry about these same things that Donald Trump is saying, whether he believes them or not, but is saying in public. And finally, people are hearing, plans to fulfill actions they've wanted to see come to fruition for 40 years that I know of personally. I remember being 5 and 6 years old and hearing, the adult men and women too, for that matter. The jobs are being shipped overseas. We're being overran by these foreigners. There's general decay and chaos, the crime, danger, right? It hasn't changed. And no matter what the media wants to pretend in their fantasy world, well, I imagine up in the media's ivory tower world, it's really nice. But down here in the 2.0 multicultural America, it's not exactly a utopia, folks. And, no matter what you think about Trump otherwise, and, and there are negatives that we could sit and harp like a little girl, but that's not productive. He does point out, these destructive effects that this 2.0 America has had on the working class and Rust Belt and factory workers and all these sorts of people, miners and the rest, right? Now, again, is he ideal? No. But in a closed two-party system, if you wish to go anywhere, on one hand, you have to support the candidate closest to you ideologically. And secondly, this is most important, if your ideology is incompatible with liberalism, which is the dominant ideology of the ruling world elite, then you must work with the candidate closest to you, but also work to destroy the system in which the candidates operate. There is no other way, you see. And so Trump can be seen as a wedge, as a means, as a focal point for energies, frankly, no matter, again, what you think about the man personally, his wife, his kids, this, that, none of this matters. What is important is that the entire donor class, the entire billionaire elite, have had to line up openly behind Hillary. All of the military-industrial complex parasites, not the soldiers. Now, I'm not against soldiers, and no one is against the combat soldiers, except for some loony leftists who aren't with us at any rate, okay? But what we're against are these war profiteers, these scumbag war profiteers who profit off other people's blood and profit other people's death and never pick a goddamn rifle up in anger themselves. They're trash. They're trash, and we all know it. And if there's a good chance that if Donald Trump gets into office, that he will literally gut these people, Caligula style, and they're terrified. Because make this understood. The United States government could get weapons a lot cheaper, a lot more quality weapons, a lot higher delivery volume. And also, the manufacturers of these weapons, their employees could be treated better. You see, this is all possible. There's so much money there. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's misallocated money. And these parasites are coming out to defend their piece of it. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because it comes down to honest, hardworking America, with Donald Trump as sort of their champion, versus multicultural 2.0 corrupt corporate America, Coca-Cola America, with Hillary Clinton acting acting the part of their great warrior chief. You really couldn't get better. You have the last hurrah of the patriarchy with Donald Trump, the real last hurrah of the actual people, and then you have the hordes of invaders with their treasonous Congo queen leading them into battle. It's truly, my friends, this is one of the most plain, open, Manichean struggles from a nationalist point of view that you'll witness in your lifetime. And no matter the outcome, I want to make this clear. If Trump is defeated in the polls and, reaction is put down and all that other crap that the media and then the, talking head classes will dip about for weeks, we'll just go to ground. We will go underground and we will come back like a phoenix. We will be reborn because they will not be able to replace us. If we are replaced, and by we I mean we Western white European men particularly, then this entire continent becomes like India or the Congo, and they don't want that. They simply want us browbeaten. They want us crushed down so we're like the Epsilons in Brave New World, just obedient enough to do what they say, but not thoughtful enough to actually rebel. Now that's what they want. And to get us there, they're engineering their way there. But they know that there's a transition period, and we're in it deep right now. And it can go either way. You see, they want to create an authoritarian utopia of sorts, where you have to believe in their little dogma. But what they forgot to calculate into their calculations is that the common people can take control of these mechanisms of power and implement their own dogma, their own belief through these mechanisms of power. Do you see? And they didn't think it through, you see. I think these elite, I think that they thought that no billionaire, no person who could actually pay their way into the halls of power would think to come in there and kick the tables over. They just didn't figure that anyone would come in and want to kick the tables over. Okay? And yet, for all of my apprehension about believing this, my eyes tell me that I'm watching someone walk right into the temple merchant's table and give it a swift kick right now, right in front of me, by their reactions. By their crazy, this man's going to get us into nuclear war, this man's a child rapist, all these weird, you know that you're over the target when you're getting flack, and you know that this man has the power elite, the media elite, the academic elite, the MIC, the military industrial complex elite, all these other parasites, these trough feeders, really worried because they're in backflip style hysterics over his wall, over his economic protectionism, over his what amounts to civic nationalism, but which can very readily come into full-blown identitarian tribal nationalism right now. And they're freaked out. And by there, I mean the elite in New York, the elite in Washington, D.C., the elite in these commercial centers across America that sit in off the rest of us like vampire squids, okay? The bankers, the industrialists, and the large investors that think of this America as nothing more than a business investment, the George Soroses of the world, if you wish, they're freaked out. And in our view, anything that makes our enemy afraid is good. Even if the item, the person, the action, the whatever making them afraid isn't ideal from our point of view, it's a movement forward. It's pushing forward towards the goal, taking ground, inch by inch, yard by yard, And frankly, our view is that after this Trump phenomenon in America and the Brexit thing in the UK, nationalists, real nationalists, identitarian nationalists, in England, based on England, and America, based on American, white America, have a real chance of sort of a renaissance, a regrowth of identitarian, tribal, nationalist politics, social and economic policies, thereby being able to be implemented by this political renaissance, And if it can happen in America and England, then you have Canada, Australia, New Zealand falling in, and readily most of the rest of the northern Germanic states will fall right into line. And then sort of the only real problem child, of course, would be Sweden, but their simplest solution is to fill the Baltic Sea with migrants. Yeah, that's the simplest solution there. But at any rate, that would require the Swedes finding their own version of someone like Donald Trump, perhaps. And with that, that's our thoughts on the Donald Trump phenomena here in America. We just kind of wanted to zip through that for good fun. All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.